Now, I haven't hidden my displeasure that there seemed to be an expectation. In politics, perception is reality. The perception had been built for months that something serious was going to happen on power prices. The best case scenario is, what, $100, $125? But even then, that happens after the next election, and even then, it takes 10 years to get there. So, forgive me for my attitude, but normal people watching us right now, they might be happy with subsidy changes, they might be happy that the RET's gone, they might be happy that there's a more renewable system, but if the bills don't go down, what's the big win here for normal people?
Well, Paul, the real answer is there is no silver bullet to reducing power prices. You have to take action on a number of fronts, and that is what the government is doing, and it's already having an effect. For example, gas is increasingly setting the price of electricity, and we, through our interventions in the market, are ensuring more gas is available to Australians before it's shipped overseas. And we've seen a drop in the spot price from gas from around $12 at the beginning of this year to around $7 today. Now, I'm already hearing from companies that they're getting better gas contracts than they otherwise would have been the case. We know that about half your household power bill is made up of poles and wires and the expenses from the network companies, and we just passed legislation this week in the Parliament which will ensure that billions of dollars are saved for Australian families because no longer will the companies be able to game the system. We also have reached agreement with the energy retailers so that families get more information, better information, that allows them to change contracts or retailers, which will save them hundreds of dollars a year. And 500,000 people have already clicked on to our Energy Made Easy website to see what the better offers are. Now, yesterday's announcement was just the last piece in a very big jigsaw, and that is the integration of energy policy with climate policy, because this has been holding back investment because of the lack of certainty. As a result of this policy, we will see savings for households, but also a more reliable system.
Sure, but as I showed on the program last night, there are 160,000 people. That's more people than the MCG in your hometown in Melbourne, right? More than 160,000 people whose power was cut off last year because they couldn't pay it. Tens of thousands of people in every single state around the country. They don't care about 2020. They care about 2017, 2018 and 2019. What do you say to those that are right on the line of not being able to pay today's bill?
I say to them, yesterday, today and tomorrow, we're doing things that are making a difference to their power bill right now. And there is absolute universal agreement within the government that we need to do everything possible to reduce people's power bills. And today's work that we've been doing around this new National Energy Guarantee is also going to be critical, not just from 2019, 2020, but actually now, because if you do the work now, it will start to flow through to prices before too long. And that is the work that we're doing, because we're absolutely committed to resolving the big mess that was left to us by the Labor Party when, under them, power bills doubled.
Well, and that's the truth. If people want to actually look at the chart's pretty obvious. When Labor kicks in to when they're kicked out, that's when the giant spike goes and you're trying to do something to curve it over. But I've got to say, I mentioned this at the start of the show. For the criticism that I've thrown your way and the Prime Minister's way, I've given it both barrels to Bill Shorten tonight. How dare he stand there today mocking the apparent savings that are coming in 2020 when he has a policy of 50-50 renewables that costs more than $60 billion on top of the $500 billion that we owe already to the rest of the world in debt. On top of that, he is going to have a price on carbon, yet he wants to be the smart-ass talking about the lack of savings under your plan. The truth is, no one asks this bloke, OK, what are you going to save off people's power bills? Because he can't answer it.
Well, the truth is that Labor is just playing politics again when people are worried about their power bills. Now, they not only have a 45% emissions reduction target, but this will see 60% renewables. It will see a national repeat of what we've seen in South Australia, where they have the highest prices in the country and the least stable system. And as you know, they've had brownouts and blackouts. And so we have, for the first time, put forward a policy designed to make the system more reliable, to ensure that the lights stay on. Bill Shorten's had a dozen different policies during his time in government and in opposition, and his record was a doubling in power prices. We have to produce the best possible policy that is available to us. That's why we went to the Energy Security Board. That's why we went to the experts. That's why we put forward a credible, workable, pro-market policy that sees an end to the subsidies, an end to the taxes and an end to the emissions trading schemes.
But let's be nice and clear about this. The Fairfax Press, they've interpreted what the system you've got is going to be a backdoor carbon tax, because while it's not, while the market is run by the government, there's this backdoor arrangement by power companies. We know that there is a floating price on carbon that comes with Labor. Clarify this nice and clean for everyone. Is there any way, backdoor, that this, what you're doing, can be interpreted as anything like the carbon tax that is coming our way under Labor?
2 letters, NO. And in fact, in the letter to the government from the Energy Security Board, they made explicitly clear that this is not a carbon price, this is not a tax, this is not a subsidy. That is the big difference between us and the Labor Party, and we've come a long way, because what we inherited was a system in a real mess. What we have put in its place are real reforms designed to set up future generations with a more affordable and a more reliable system.